What do you get when you toss Final Fantasy X, Elden Ring, and Lost Odyssey into a pot and stir it? You get Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Now, I know that sounds like a wild mix, but hear me out. This game borrows elements from each of those titles, sometimes subtly, sometimes boldly, and blends them with its own twists to create something genuinely unique and layered on nearly every level. You want a gripping story? You got it. Memorable characters with intricate development? You got it. Refreshing gameplay, stunning art direction, and imaginative enemy designs? You got that too. It literally delivers on all fronts. Expedition 33 offers so much that it almost puts some AAA titles to shame, proving that a game doesn't need a $100+ million budget to be phenomenal. Of course, this is a review, so while I'm already telling you it's excellent, we're still going to peel back the layers and dive into the details, spoiler-free.
We'll break the cycle, so she can't steal anyone else's future.
Starting with the setting, premise, and world. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a turn-based RPG developed by Sandfall Interactive, a small team of around 30 talented individuals based in France. This marks their debut release, published by Kepler. While Expedition 33 is an entirely original IP, the developers have openly cited influences from iconic games like Final Fantasy, Sekiro, and others, blending familiar elements into their own unique creations. The world of Expedition 33 is truly one of a kind. Each year, the paintress paints a new number on the monolith, counting down one by one, marking the inevitable fading of those older in age. To combat this, expeditions are formed groups of individuals who, knowing they are destined to fade with the paintress's return, are tasked with a crucial mission. These expeditions aren't necessarily focused on defeating the paintress, rather their purpose is to forge a path forward, gather vital information, and help those who follow gain a deeper understanding of both the paintress and the world itself. Expedition 33 is made up primarily of individuals around the age of 33, with the exception of Maëlle, a 16-year-old girl, and Gustav's adoptive sister. Maëlle longs to experience the world beyond Lumiere, the home of the expeditioners and the citizens they live among. While Expedition 33 takes place in a world on the brink of extinction, it doesn't solely dwell in a dark, hopeless atmosphere. Instead, it realistically explores how people might react in such a scenario, celebrating cultural traditions, maintaining a sense of normalcy, and striving to preserve their humanity. Despite the looming threat of destruction, the game beautifully showcases a culture built around the gommage, the ritual of fading away once the painted number on the monolith is reached. Sandfall masterfully evokes a range of emotions, from dread to joy, laughter to uncertainty. This emotional depth extends beyond the narrative, seeping into the environments, music, and stories that shape the experience. Which brings us to the biggest thing here, the story. My favorite aspect of Expedition 33, and it's undoubtedly the story. That's not to downplay the excellence of the gameplay, but what Sandfall does exceptionally well is craft a captivating world and introduce compelling characters from the very start. They don't waste time showing the harsh realities these characters face, while also revealing their vulnerabilities, which made it easy for me to sympathize with their struggles and goals. Right from the start, they made me care about the world, connect with the characters, and relate to their struggles on a deeply human level. The story is structured with a prologue, 3 acts, and an epilogue, and it's paced beautifully. There's no filler or unnecessary padding. Each major plot point introduces new events, fresh information, and just enough mystery to keep you hooked. As you uncover more about the world, you're also presented with new questions that make you want to dive deeper and explore further. This pacing strikes a perfect balance, ensuring that you're never left in complete confusion for too long, but also never given everything at once, maintaining the drive to keep progressing. Ultimately, the game is paced excellently, carefully sprinkling bits of foreshadowing without ever giving away the plot. The payoff in the end is incredibly satisfying. It's genuinely one of my favorite stories told in recent memory across all forms of entertainment. The game touches on a wide range of themes: loss and grief, hope and despair, family, survival, redemption, and love. What I love most is how it explores the gray areas, prompting deep reflection on how I might react or feel in the situations presented. It had me truly contemplating my own responses to the moral dilemmas the story presents. Characters like Gustav are instantly likable and well-developed. His interactions with Maëlle create a believable brother-sister bond that at times left me teary-eyed, though I'll admit that could just be the father of two in me. especially because I do have a boy and a girl. Now, this depth doesn't stop with just these two. The entire cast of characters and their relationships feel authentic from the start. Their interactions give the impression that they've known each other for years, making it feel less like a first meeting and more like you've been a part of their world for a long time. The dialogue and character interactions feel incredibly natural, ranging from serious and sad to angry and even humorous. There are actual moments where the game playfully mocks typical RPG tropes, and the jokes land perfectly, adding a refreshing layer of humor to the experience. Look, if you can make me damn near cry at one point, laughing the next, and feeling angry, you have some damn good writing. Just being blunt, I have to walk on eggshells to avoid spoilers here, but it is just so well written, and no amount of words can get that across without you experiencing it firsthand. I cared about the characters, I cared about their goals, and most of all, I was happy with how it all paid off in the end. Now we can finally talk about the combat and gameplay systems, because there's a lot to dig into, especially for a turn-based game. If you're used to just inputting commands and sitting back, think again. This game demands your full attention. You better hold on to your controller, clench your cheeks, and stay sharp, especially when it comes to defense. Expedition 33 features a turn-based combat system with an active turn order displayed on the left side of the screen, but don't mistake it for a passive experience. This isn't your typical choose a move and wait kind of battle system. When attacking, you'll need to land timed QTEs, and when defending, you have to stay on your toes. Dodging, parrying, jumping, and countering are all essential. If you don't, well, you're not going to be getting very far. These mechanics aren't just optional, they're practically mandatory depending on the difficulty you choose, which ranges from story to expeditioner to expert. Even on story mode, you'll need to put in some effort, especially when it comes to dodging. Unlike many traditional RPGs, though, Expedition 33 doesn't feature random encounters. Enemies appear directly on the field, allowing you to engage on your terms. By pressing R1, you can initiate a preemptive strike before being taken into the battle screen to face off against your foes. Now, beyond your standard attacks and defensive responsibilities, you also have access to a ranged weapon for targeting enemy weaknesses, a variety of skills unlocked through the skill tree, and a selection of items that replenish when you rest. You don't stockpile curatives in Expedition 33. Instead, you have a limited healing capacity that can be expanded over time, but it only refills when you rest at an expedition flag. To succeed in battle, though, it's crucial to understand each character's unique abilities and how to create synergy between party members to unleash more powerful attacks. Instead of using traditional magic points, the game uses an AP action point system. AP is gained after each turn and through perfectly timed defensive maneuvers. Skills and ranged weapon attacks require a specific amount of AP to execute, adding an extra layer of strategy to every encounter. Now, the gameplay systems deepen over time, gradually introducing new mechanics with each party member and expanding general combat options. In other words, what you start with is just the foundation. As you progress, the game continuously layers in new elements to keep combat fresh, challenging, and consistently engaging. If all that weren't enough, each character can equip up to 3 Pictos passive abilities that, once mastered after 4 battles, become available for any party member to use by spending Illumina points. These points can be increased using a special item. However, if the original character keeps the Picto equipped, they benefit from its effects without needing to spend any Illumina points, adding another layer of strategic depth to party customization. Expedition 33 features skill trees as well that also unlock new abilities for your characters, with skill points earned as you level up. The game uses a traditional leveling system, and alongside the skill trees, each character has attributes that can be improved using attribute points, which are also gained through leveling. To add another layer of depth, weapons scale with specific attributes using a grading system. For example, an A grade in agility will result in better scaling for that attribute. Some weapons even have unique abilities of their own and can be leveled up to a maximum of level 20. In addition to the core game mechanics, each character has their own unique systems that enhance the gameplay further. While I'd love to dive into how each character plays, doing so would make this review far too long and risk spoiling some key moments. Just know that there's a lot of variety in the gameplay styles, and each character brings something fresh to the table. While it's possible to break the game with overpowered builds, the difficulty and skill ceiling remain high. Mastering enemy patterns and timing your defensive maneuvers is essential, and you might find yourself failing a few times before you nail it. Now let's discuss the structure and gameplay of Expedition 33. It's a semi-open world with a strong focus on the main narrative. That doesn't mean there's a lack of side content. There's plenty to explore. However, it doesn't bombard you with side quests like many modern games. There's no quest log, no exclamation marks above NPCs to signal available quests, and no minimap or in-depth map system beyond the overworld map. While this might seem like an outdated design choice, it's actually executed beautifully. It encourages players to stay aware of their surroundings and explore every path if they want to experience everything. This design makes exploration feel more organic. Too often we're chasing markers on a map or screen, missing out on the world around us. The last time I felt this immersed was in Elden Ring, where exploration was driven by curiosity rather than objectives. Expedition 33 achieves a similar effect by removing on-screen objective markers and minimaps, leaving you with only a compass to guide your direction. The balance between gameplay and story is also excellent. I always felt like I had enough time to immerse myself in gameplay before the next major story scene. One of my favorite touches was the inclusion of expedition journals, which delve into the history of past expeditions. These journals were genuinely intriguing and well voiced, adding depth to the world and helping me connect with the experiences of those who came before. It's a clever way of filling in the lore without overwhelming the player, and it made me feel like I truly understood the struggles and stories of previous expeditioners. With 30 hours of main story content and an additional 30 hours of side content, there's no shortage of things to do. For those wanting to dive back in, Expedition 33 also offers a New Game Plus mode, allowing you to experience the game again without losing all the progress you've made. One of the standout features I wanted to give like a special mention to is the merchant system. The currency in Expedition 33 is called Chroma, which you can use to buy various items from the game's merchants. However, there's a unique twist. Each merchant has a special item they'll only sell to you once you prove your worth in a 1v1 battle. While none of these battles were particularly challenging, it was a clever way to tie unlocking special items to a fun, rewarding challenge.
One stroke, and everyone of that age vanishes into nothingness.
Expedition 33, despite being an indie game, boasts impressive graphics with a gritty yet realistic art style. Some of the enemy designs, especially the bosses, reminds me of ones in Elden Ring. The character designs are full of personality, and the environments are varied enough to make you feel like you're exploring a fully realized world, not just a collection of areas. The art direction is consistent and has a certain panache, making everything feel cohesive. While the animations aren't on the same level as those in a AAA game with the motion capture, they're still smooth enough to not break immersion. The user interface is clean, unique, and easy to read, fitting seamlessly with the world's theme. A nice touch is the visual detail when your character's health gets low. Scrapes and blood appear, showing that they've been through a tough battle. This detail carries over into cutscenes as well, further enhancing the sense of immersion. The soundtrack in Expedition 33 is nothing short of exceptional. The developers truly tapped into their French roots, seamlessly weaving them into the world, characters, and most notably the music. While I couldn't fully grasp the lyrics, the sound design itself was a pleasure to experience, heightening tense moments and adding depth to the atmosphere. But the sound design doesn't stop there. It plays a crucial role in the battle system too. Listening for audio cues helps you time defensive maneuvers, almost making it possible to defend with your eyes closed if you've mastered the enemy patterns. This level of integration is not easy to pull off, and it adds a layer of depth to the gameplay that enhances the overall experience. In today's gaming landscape, there's many titles launching incomplete or riddled with issues. Expedition 33 stands out with its impressive technical performance. During my playthrough on the PS5 Pro, I encountered no bugs or crashes. Everything ran smoothly throughout. While a day one patch is expected to address some known issues, I personally didn't experience any technical hiccups. The game offers two modes, one that prioritizes resolution, and another that maintains a consistent 60 FPS with a performance mode. Naturally, I opted for the higher frame rate mode, and the game still looked stunning, proving that performance doesn't come at the notable cost of degraded visual quality. Now I know, I've pretty much been gushing about this game the entire time. Usually there's a section in my reviews where I break down what could have been improved, but honestly, While I could nitpick something minor, there's no meaningful flaw I can point to that detracted from my experience. Expedition 33 is simply put an incredible game. I'd even call it a masterpiece, and while I need more time to let it fully settle before declaring it a top 5 game of all time for me, I can confidently say it's left a lasting impact on me. I think about this every single day since I previewed it. The story, the gameplay, the music, it all stuck with me in a way very few games ever do. I don't hand out 10 out of 10s lightly, but this one, it earns it. It's a rare gem. It's a must-play for any lover of RPGs. What blows my mind is that this was made by a small team, packed with quality and still being sold below full price. That's wild. Let me be crystal clear. You need to play this game, whether it's on PC, PS5, or Xbox. Just play it. And if you enjoy what you play, go the extra mile and buy it. Don't just Game Pass it. Support studios that pour their hearts into their games. Sandfall Interactive absolutely crushed it here. They've gained my trust completely, and I'll be the first in line for whatever they make next.
Even if we fail, we lay the trail for those who will come after. Right? We are Expedition 33.